Good morning, students. Good morning. How are you all? Fine? Yes, I am also fine. Okay. Today in today's class we are going to start the new chapter. But before starting that chapter, I want to ask some questions. Okay. Yes. So are you all ready? Very good. Okay, so my first question. What is important to lead a comfortable life? What is important to lead a comfortable life? Anyone, please try to give answers fastly. Yes, anyone? Yes, Asif? Yes, we need food. Anyone else want to give answer? Yes, Ariba? Yes, shelter. Very good. Anyone else? Any other thing which is important to lead a comfortable life? We completed two words, that food and shelter and clothes. Yes, and many more things. Okay, good answer. So food, shelter and clothes, so these all things is important for leading a comfortable life. Okay, so where we get all these things? Please try to give answers. If you are not saying anything, then how you will know about all these things? And that like this, if you are doing, then this is not uh, good for you. So please try to give answers. If you are wrong, then no problem, I will tell you now. Okay, so try to give answers. From where we get all these things? Yes, from shop. Anyone else want to give any other answer? From nature. Okay. Yes, anyone else? Forest. Yes, very good, Atif. Very good. Yes, so we get these all things from forest. So that why forest is important? Why forest is important? Yes, we get all these things from the forest. That is why also important. Other than this, what is the things why it is important? We get fresh air. Yes, very good. Or anyone else try to give any other answer? Okay, no problem. So very good, you give all the answers and you try to give the answers. Very good. This is good for you. So we the forest is important, that we get the fresh air from the forest. Yes, and food we get, the wood we get from the forest. So these all things come from the forest. So that's why, student, in today's class, we are going to start the new chapter which is related to the forest, and we will discuss about how forest is important for us. Okay, so the chapter name is Forest Society and Colonialism. Okay, so the chapter name is Forest Society and Colonialism. Okay, tell me, what do you get by this chapter name? The first term is forest society. So here forest society, from the forest society we get it that we are going to discuss about the people who live in the forest. Then the term colonialism. Do you know the meaning of the colonialism? So here the term colonialism means when one country rule over another country. When one country rule over another country and economically exploit that country also, it is called colonialism. When one country control over the other country and economically exploit that country, it is called colonialism. Let's take an example of India. In India, before 1947, there was a rule of British colonial. So we all know about it that in India, before 1947, there was a rule of British colonial rule. So, what was the connection? What was the relation between the forest society and the British colonial rule? So, we are going to discuss about that thing in today's class. Okay, student. So, first thing we will discuss about how colonial rule affect the forest life. The first point, the first topic is how colonial rule affect the forest life. As we all see all around us that everything is made up of forest. We will take the example of table, paper, food, spices. So from where we get all these things? We get all these things from forest. So if we understand the value of forest, that how much it is important, then why deforestation happened? What is the reason behind the deforestation? So we will discuss about deforestation. Deforestation. First, we will discuss the meaning of deforestation. So, the deforestation means destruction of the forest, cutting of more and more trees. It's called deforestation. If forest is that much important, then why deforestation happened? This is not the recent problem that we are facing today, but it is started from the colonial rule of British. From where it was started, deforestation is started, not in the present scenario we are seeing that the deforestation is happened, but we will discuss about that the how far we are facing that problem of deforestation. So deforestation is started from British colonial rule. Okay, if we discuss about India land mass in 1600, around 1/6 of area was used for cultivation purpose. How much land mass area? India land mass in 1600, around 1/6 of area was used under cultivation. this much of area, 1/6 of area was used for cultivation purpose. And now, and in the present day, we are using around half of area for cultivation purpose. Presently we are using one half, matlab half of area for cultivation. So this is about the present thing, and this is about the land mass area which was used under cultivation in 1600. Okay, now what was the reason behind the deforestation? We are going to discuss about it. So second topic is reasons of deforestation. The first point is increase in population. Increase in population. Increase in population, it means that if the population was increased, the food demand was also increased, and because of that the cutting of the trees was also increased. Food demand was increased, that's why trees was also cut for cultivate the land area. That is the reason behind increase in population was also the reason of deforestation. Then the second point is demand of commercial crop. Demand of commercial crops. So this is the second point, demand of commercial crop. Commercial crop like jute, rubber, and paper. So these things, cotton. So these are the commercial crop. So demand of commercial crop was also increased, and because of that, more and more trees was cut, and the land was used for cultivation purpose for the commercial crop. So this is also the reason of deforestation. Then the third point is export of timber from India. Export of timber from India. This is our third point. What happened when in the European countries there was a shortage of timber, and the timber is used for making a ship and boats. So that's why there was a shortage of timber in European countries. So that's why the Britishers cut down the trees and start planting the timber trees in India, and by taking that timber from India to the foreign countries. So this was also the reason behind the deforestation, that the timber trees which is of India were cut down and then used for export purpose. So timber which is get from the oak tree. So oak trees were planted for using a timber wood for making ships. So this is also the reason of deforestation. Then the fourth point is growing need of tea, coffee and rubber. Growing need of tea, coffee and rubber. So this is the fourth point. So growing need of tea, coffee and rubber, and because of that also forest was cut down, and the land was used for cultivation purpose of tea, coffee and rubber, so that it was planted. these crops were planted on the land. So for that purpose, forest was cut down. Our fifth point is spread of railway. So fifth point is spreading of railways. So here, what is the relation between the railways and the deforestation? That in the presently we see that there was a use of electrical engines, but in the 19th century there was a use of wood for running the engine. For making a coal is used for using for engines to run them. Okay. And one thing also, the railway track. The railway track, for joining the railway track from each other, there was a use of wood between that railway track, so that it will not move from one place to other. So for that purpose also there was a use of wood. And around for 1 mile of from 1 mile of distance, there was a use of around 500 trees. So around 500 trees was cut down for for making a railway track for 1 mile. So this was the reason also, that railway spreading of railways was the reason for behind the deforestation. Now we will discuss about the rise of commercial forestry. What was the reason that the rise of commercial forestry? So because what is happening, Britishers doing deforestation in a large scale. That's why there was a need of commercial forestry. What happened when we come to know that Britishers were fulfilling their needs, and for fulfilling the need of the people they are cutting the forest. But after some time they come to know that if we are doing deforestation just like that, then how they will fulfill the need of the people. So for that purpose they called the German expert Dietrich Dietrich Brandis. That was the name of a German expert who came from Europe for managing the forest. So the name of the German expert is Dietrich Brandis. The German expert name. What was the name? What was the name? Dietrich Brandis. This was the name of a German expert who come for managing the forest. So he get the position. He get some position also. So he became the first Inspector General of Forest. First Inspector General of Forest. He became the first Inspector General of Forest. He said for forest management, proper system has to be made. He said to the Britishers that for managing the forest, we have to make a proper system for cutting the trees and for planting it again, so that the forests will remain and all the forests were not cut down. So for that purpose he came to India. Then he made and trained the pupil for about the science of conservation. He started teaching the pupil of India about the science of conservation. So he started teaching. sorry, training. So not teaching. He started training the pupil. Training the pupil science of conservation. Science of conservation. So that people can also understand how to manage to cut down the forest and how to manage that system properly. Okay. Now in 1865, India Forest Act was passed, so that if some person without a purpose they start cutting the trees, they will get punishment. So this act was passed in 1865. In 1865, in 1865, India Forest Act was passed. India Forest Act was passed. Now what happened after that? In 1906, the Imperial Forest Research Institute was made in Dehradun for studying about scientific forestry. That's why Indian Forest Act was revised two times, in year 1878 and in year 1927, so that the cutting down of the trees was properly managed, and how to preserve the forest and how to cut down the forest, it will be done in a proper system, and rest of it we will discuss in the next class. Now tell me if you have any problem in the topics, then I will clear it to you again. So do you have any problem in the topics which we discuss in today's class? No one? Okay, no problem. So if you don't have any problem, then I will ask the question which we discuss in today's class, the topic we discuss in today's class. I will ask the questions. So are you ready? Okay. So my first question, what do you mean by the term colonialism? What do you mean by the term colonialism? Anyone, please try to give answer fastly. Yes, colonialism means rule of one country on other and economically exploit to that country is called colonialism. Very good, Atif. Sit down. Okay, next one question. What is deforestation and how deforestation was started in British colonial rule? Anyone, please try to give answer fastly, because if you are not giving any answer, then how you will learn? This is also the way of learning things. So please try to give answers. Yes, Kabir, stand up and please give me the reply. What is the meaning of deforestation and how deforestation is started from the British colonial rule? Yes, good. Okay, sit down. Very good. So, just like him, please try to give answers, because if you are giving answers, then it is good for you, and it will also build your confidence. So, please try to give answers, because you are not going to punish if you are giving any wrong answer. So, please try to give it. the answers. Okay, my next question is, who is German expert and why he came to India? Who is German expert and why he came to India? Yes, Kabir, tell me. Yes, that Rich Brandis was the name of a German expert. Very good. And why he came to India? For managing the forest, he came to India. Very good. Sit down. Okay, so my last question. What happened with the rise of the commercial forestry? What happened with the rise of commercial forestry? Okay, good. Okay, sit down, Ariba. Very good. So, that's all for today. I will revise the topics which we discussed in today's class once again so that you can get the idea about it, what we have learned in whole class. So first thing we discuss about by taking the example about the colonialism, that in India before 1947 the rule of British colonial was there, then how colonial rule affect the forest life, and then we discuss about deforestation, that it was started from British colonial rule, that how Britishers using the forest for cutting down the forest and make the land clear for cultivation purpose and for their own benefit, for gain for the profit, they cut down the forest for cultivation purpose so that they can get grain, crops, and other than that the money also. So after that, we discuss about how much percent of land mass area was come under cultivation in 19th century. So in 1600, around 1/6 area of cultivation, 1/6 area of was used for cultivation purpose. And presently, we are using half of area of cultivation, half of sorry, half of area of India land mass for cultivation purpose. Then the second topic is reasons of deforestation. We discuss about 5 reasons of deforestation, that in the British colonial rule, that increase of population and demand of commercial crop, export of timber from India, growing need of tea, coffee and rubber, spreading of railways. So these are the point which was the reason of deforestation. Then we discuss about the rise of commercial forestry, and in this we come to know about the German expert, that Dietrich Brandis came to India for managing the forest, and to for managing the cutting down of trees in a proper way. Proper system has to be made, and for that he made the Indian Forestry Act was passed in 1865. And he also trained the pupil science of conservation, so that pupil can understand how to cut down the trees and how to plant it, so that they can get the benefit of it by the trees and the forest. So according to the scientific forestry, we come to know about that the different kind of trees was cut down and same type of trees was grown at in a row, so that they can get a same trees in a bulk. Then we discuss about that the scientific for the act, Indian Forest Act, was also revised by 2 times, in year 1865 and again in the year 18 sorry in 1927. So they were revised by 2 times. So that's all for the today's class. If you are having any problem, then you can ask me. And in the homework you have to do what we have to do for stopping the deforestation. Write down a short note about it.